Well, here I am at Nathan Phillips Square, where all the municipal politicians hang out. And the one thing I would like to talk about today is a lot of these municipal politicians are becoming complacent and dead weight. They're basically in office, some of them 30, 40 years in office, and it's the same old thing with these guys. They become dead weight. I would like for once to see in municipal politics like an 8-year term for a municipal politician. You can serve 2 terms, and after 2 terms you must leave. But right now we got municipal politicians which are serving 20, 25, 30 years. They're becoming complacent. They're not serving their constituents, and I hate to say it, they're becoming dead weight. And we've got to get that in Toronto municipal politics, that we need a term limit. I'm just getting tired of seeing the same old people in office, because in a municipal election, only 40% of the people vote in a municipal election. So some of these basic candidates are shoo-ins because there's such a low voter turnout in municipal politics. And we need that term limit of only 8 years in municipal politics, meaning you can only serve 8 years to your constituents. None of this 30, 40 years as a municipal politician. It's ridiculous. And that's the other thing. The other thing I'm talking about is John Tory and his subway expansion. John Tory obviously knows that when this is all said and done, this subway extension in Scarborough will balloon to about $10, $15 million. And there's no way the city can pay for it. They're not going to get funding from municipal and federal governments in this issue. It's just not going to happen. The federal government is broke. The provincial government is broke. They don't have any money to fund these projects. Tory thought it was a slam dunk that he was obviously going to get funding through transfer payments from the municipal and federal politicians. That's not going to happen. I hate to say it. And I don't normally agree with Gordon Perks, a left-leaning councillor, but he is right on the subway. It's just the cost will be astronomical for this subway. It's ridiculous that he would even go through with it. I think he's trying to score brownie points on the Rob Ford legacy, because Rob Ford, I believe, wanted the subway also, and if Tory were able to get it built, he would score some points. It's purely politically motivated, in my opinion. The other thing is these councillors like Joe Cressy or Crespi, whatever the hell the guy's name is. He's another one of these do-gooder politicians like Save the Baby Whales, Feed the Starving Children in Africa. The only problem with these guys is that it's always with other people's money. Never does money come out of his pocket to fund these charitable funds like a sanctuary city. Why doesn't he take some of his increase he got for being a municipal politician and basically put some of that money to his charitable causes? No, it's always with other people's money. It's the Bono syndrome of basically using other people's money to fund your political activity or your political activism. And it continues on and on. I've seen too many politicians play this game. The other thing is that I remember the councillor in my riding, Mike Layton. Believe it or not, in the 4 years that he served in that, I think it's Trinity-Bellwoods region, the only thing I remember the guy for is vetoing a casino, no casino, and the other thing is bike lanes. I kind of wonder what this guy did in 4 years as a municipal politician, because I only remember the guy for 2 things, bike lanes and no casino. I mean, this is what you see from a lot of these municipal politicians. They come a bit complacent. I guess the same could be said for provincial and federal politics, though I'm not up to date on a lot of the ministers in provincial politics, on their portfolios, and I don't really have a real insight into that, so I can't really comment on every federal or provincial. I know that Trudeau has gone mute on the sanctuary city issue, where all those people crossing the border in Manitoba, he's went silent on it, when as the Prime Minister you're supposed to lead, not be a follower. And unfortunately, he's not saying anything about it. The same way with John Tory with the sanctuary city. Now, the sanctuary city premise was based on that the federal government and provincial government would kick in money for this sanctuary city. But right now, as I said before, and I'll repeat myself, the federal politicians have no money. They're basically in debt. Provincial the Premier of Ontario is basically in debt. The government has no money. There's no money to spare. There's no money to give to municipal government. The federal government has no money to give. These governments are all bankrupt through misspending over years and years. So I don't see any type of positives coming out of transfer payments to the provinces. And transfer payments to the provinces also help the payments to the municipal level. So that's all I have to say. And there you can see the old clock. This is the skyline view. Again, a panorama view of Nathan Phillips Square. And a briefing on Nathan Phillips Square. You know, in the summer you will have sporting events. Not sporting events, but concerts. And the ice skating rink is always open in the winter months. And that's my political talk for today. Thank you and goodbye.